Hello, one and all, and welcome to Synergy of Being. My name's Tom Lawless, and this is the Vibration Energy News. So, if you were watching last week, we were predicting that things would take a bit of a downturn. It'd be a little bit less sort of volatile in the world of energies, and that was because we're coming up to the equinox. No, it's not. It's the solstice. It's equinox. Sorry, I get confused between the two. Equinox is where the sun is, or the earth is, squared off to the sun, and everybody gets 12 hours of sunlight and 12 hours of night time. I will get there eventually. So it was pretty much like that this week coming through. And there was a vague vibration going down with the energy. There was a real lull. It was almost as if there was a pre-equinox sort of slowdown, and that came in, I reckon, Tuesday or Wednesday this past week, and it created a bit of a vibration that was depressing, probably the best way to describe it. So you may have thought, life was a bit shite at that moment. That's what was pretty much happening last week. So what's coming down the barrel of the gun for us this week, just after the equinox, which is at this moment? So we're moving from the summer into the autumn in the northern hemisphere, and in the southern hemisphere, they're moving from their winter period into their springtime. So let's just have a look what's going on the sun. So here we have the sun at the moment. The coronal holes, as you can see, they're getting towards the equator of the sun. That's signalling the end of a cycle, so we should be having more sunspots in the future. But as we all know now, sunspots are going to be few and far between. The coronal hole on the right hand side is the coronal hole that's been affecting us all last week, and this coming week will be the one that's in the top central left position, and that'll be coming up in the next few days. But as we can see in the Earth's magnetic fields and all the X-ray fluxes, the Earth's magnetic fields there and to the right, it's all calm, all still very in the green. But there is things that are afoot on the sun, and it's been very apparent over the last week. There's been an increased number of filaments that's been collecting across the sun, and this is it's a vibration that is very basic, very umbilical cord sort of vibration, and that sort of signifies that changing of two cycles between the corona holes and the sunspots. So let's just have a look, see how it's been affecting the Earth. Before we do, just if you want to catch up on where the chakra points are across the Earth, there you go. There you can stop and have a look at it there. I have taken the liberty to placing these lines, these energy lines, on the earthquake maps. So let's just have a look what's been going on. Here you can see here there's been very few in the way of earthquakes on the 15th, and that was last Sunday, mainly accumulating around the root and the plexus solis with a little bit on the throat chakra. On the following day it started bubbling back out, and we had a little bit on the sacrum and some bordering over towards the heart chakra, but nothing really serious and that sort of fun. On the Tuesday, that's when the plexus solis started kicking back in, and we started to get a bit more sort of dissipation of these earthquakes across around the heart chakra, but nothing really significant again. And then on the Wednesday, we had the root, the sacrum, and the plexus solis and the throat kicking in. So basically, if things haven't been going to super plan, you may have found these days a little bit sort of depressive. And this includes the Thursday as well, where we mainly went back to the plexus solis, a little bit on the sacrum, but mainly it was all about the plexus solis. There was some reprise actually from the heavy vibration, with a little bit of stuff coming through the root chakra, the crown chakra, and also the heart chakra there, albeit very small. And then on Friday, the day of all those demonstrations against global warming and climate change, the plexus solis just kicked off. There was a real forceful energy going on, and I think everybody felt that. Then on the day of the equinox, the heart chakra really started getting involved. And I think that's where the plexus solis really played its part before, heating up that heart chakra and letting it really speak. So sometimes actually understanding ourselves, it's often best to look at what's actually going on in the nature and trying to understand what's happening energetically. Let's just take the hurricanes for the moment. This is an image of the dust storms. This was one in 2018. There was one that came off this week from the Sahara in Africa, and what that does is it sends a lot of hot iron charged sand into the air, and they create those hurricanes out in the Atlantic before they run into the Caribbean, and etc. But there is actually a reason for this energetically. If you can look here, we have the vortexes, and there's a vortex over Africa which turns in an anti-clockwise direction, bringing the energy in from the universe and then letting it out over the Caribbean and the Bermuda Triangle. But also we can see this in the poles, north and south. What you're looking at the moment is the South Pole vortex, which is strong during the winter and will die down during the summer. The same thing happens in the northern hemisphere, but what I want you to pay attention to here is the vortex, which is actually a triangle shape, is it not? And basically you've got the points of the triangle between South America and Africa, and also between Africa and Australia, and then between Australia and South America. But you can see this reasoning energetically through those lines. Here's the South Pole, the lines that I drew back in 2000, nearly 20 years ago. And what we can see is the dashed lines actually cross over in the seas in the southern hemisphere, and the solid lines actually cross over in the seas in the northern hemisphere. So what they're actually doing at this moment is creating a lot of discharge in those crossing zones, which will actually make and shape that vortex. The thing is, if the vortex is not very strong during this period, then we will have a very cold winter. So the northern pole vortex has not actually formed yet, although we've gone through the autumn equinox, and the southern vortex is still very strong. So you may, in compared to what it should be. So with this autumn may be incredibly cold. Keep an eye out for that one. So now we know and understand a little bit more about the mechanics of the vibrations of the Earth and the universal vibration, and how that is affecting us is in this. I would have thought this coming week things will calm down even more than they have already done last week, and come to a real sort of, not necessarily standstill, but much more sort of acceptable sort of speed, and an enjoyable ride, as it were. But with that new coronal hole coming through our way, we'll just see what sort of things it will trigger throughout the Earth, therefore triggering things in us. I've got a funny feeling we're going to be looking at the sacrum and the heart chakras particularly hitting more, and we may get some more earthquakes in the Mediterranean in this coming week. But I'd have to have a good look at that in the next couple of days as it comes through. If you want to join us on our Facebook page, Synergy of Being, you'll probably see videos and commentaries about that during this week. So what are we looking in for us during this week as people? So enjoy this bit of calm, and also it's a good time to restock, as I said last week. And I think this would probably be the best week to restock before autumn starts kicking in. And I think from the northern hemisphere, you're going to feel that quite a lot. And it's going to feel like a bit like a wall that we hit, a real transition between the Indian summer that most people have been having and into really cold blasts. And that's going to put a bit of chill on a lot of things we've been doing. And it may just sort of slow down a lot of plans. So just take it easy. Don't push yourself. Don't get carried away and out of control. Yeah, just keep it simple. Keep it real, and keep it to so it's actually easier for you to continue on building your plans for the coming autumn, right through to your sort of Christmas time, because then that's the next sort of changing period. So it's really I think a week of two sides and a transition that's going on. So people may find problems with breathing, colds and stuff like that. They may well kick off, and also sort of with filtering problems such as kidneys and liver. So watch out for those sort of things. Be a good time of year to do a liver clean out with a bit of hot water and a quarter of a lemon squeezed into that in about half an hour before you go to bed. That should help get your bile going and help clean your liver out. So these are the good times of the year to do these sort of things. So if you like this video, please do share, and do subscribe to the channel, and we will be speaking soon. There should be some videos coming up this week concerning various things through Synergy of Being, but I'm still trying to load up through YouTube. It's not the easiest thing in the world, but we will try and keep trying, and we will get there. So the tip for this week is take it easy. Don't rush it. You've got time. Yeah? Whatever you do, make sure you please have fun. And don't forget, enjoy.